Yeah, happy Monday to everybody. Yeah, Nate, I got you. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm going to go ahead and book my room soon. We're just trying to figure out exactly what dates we're going to go. You know, it might go up a day or two early, I don't know. Or down. I say up. Go down. Yeah, but it's only, I think last time I looked it was, I don't know, right at $100 a night, which is great. Probably after parking and taxes and fees and all that shit, it's probably going to be more like $150 a night, but still, that'd still be the cheapest place we've stayed so far. I'm trying to remember back to Embassy Suites in Atlanta. I think it was, well, it might have been different for everybody, depending on what kind of room you got, but ours was like $225 a night. That was year one. Then the Pigeon Forge was close to $200 a night. I can't remember the exact number on that one either. And then whatever it was, $220 or $225 a night in at Isle of Palms. So. Yeah, Matt, you live in Ohio, right? We actually might fly this time. It just depends on whether if we take the kids. I've taken the kids every year to the Slav Olympics, but if we're able to not take them this time, we probably won't. And if we don't, we'll try to fly in. I don't know. It just depends on how expensive it is. I don't know if it's worth it or not. I don't mind driving 8 hours. It's not, I mean, as a matter of fact, it's like I told Mrs. Peete, even with or without the kids, it might be worth it just to drive anyway, because flying's a pain in the ass. Unless you have a really far distance to go. Like, I mean, driving 16 hours is no fun. Or, something like that. But to me, an 8-hour drive is like, it ain't that bad. I don't mind it. What's up, Law Tie one time? Panama City Beach Pete one time. That's right. Take the bus. Oh shit. That would suck. Hey Matt, what about a train? Train's a lot cheaper than flying, and it's also a lot more comfortable. It just takes you a lot longer to get there because they have to make a bunch of stops on the way, like an Amtrak. I'm sure there's got to be an Amtrak runs through Panama City or somewhere very close to it. I'd look it up. Train travel's not bad, man. Air travel's got to the point where it's almost unbearable. Between the other idiots on the plane, the fact that unless you're sitting in first class, I mean, I don't know. I'm only, you guys know how tall I am. 5'11", 6 foot, right around there. I mean, even a guy my height, I'm not super tall. I mean, it's really uncomfortable. You can't stretch your legs out. And if you got a flight that's more than 2 hours, 3 hours long, that becomes a problem. For me, it does anyway. I don't know. I just don't like flying. I don't like it. But on a train, you can get up and walk around. Fuck the seatbelt light. Seatbelt light. God. He's like, you gotta pee. And you're like, stand up to go to the bathroom, and the stewardess is like, oh, sir, you can't go to the bathroom yet. The seatbelt light's still on. I'm like, but you're standing right here without a seatbelt on. Y'all getting me mad already. But on a train, though, you can get up and walk around. There's like a bar on there. You can go sit at the bar and they have like a TV. You can watch the game. It's just way better. Just slower. I did look at trains. Didn't see anything that would take me to Panama. Well, not to Panama, to Panama City. If you typed Panama in there, they probably wouldn't have a train that went to Panama. I hope you typed Panama City Beach in there. Florida. But even if there's not one that runs through Panama City Beach, I bet you there's one very close to that.
I always used to feel like I long so without a home.
Man, Matthew says here.
But now I've come to realize that I'm right where I belong. Alone with you.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Luke's never been on a plane. That's surprising. I'll be with you guys in just like 30 seconds. All right, let's get the show started here. If you guys don't mind, make sure you don't forget to hit the like button, because you know the deal. YouTube cares about it, really. They really do. All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Start of a new week. This week just happens to be one of my favorite weeks of the year as far as football is concerned, and that's draft week, NFL draft week. The only time of the year where the NFL and college football merge and fans of each interact with each other. Because most of the year it's a contentious relationship between NFL and college football fans. And then, well, of course, not everybody. Some people are fans of both, like me. But yeah, you have the hardcore college football fans who think it's the greatest sport on earth. I do fit into that category. And then you have the hardcore NFL fans who say, oh, college football is terrible. Can't even, it's unwatchable. You know, the football's bad, the product's bad, there's 100 million teams, can't keep up with that. So, you know, it's the same teams every year, blah, blah, blah. But on draft night, it's exciting because we all get to see. This is the time when the NFL people look to college fans. Because, we know, the ones that don't watch college ball at all or very little. And they start looking at prospects for whoever they want their team to draft, and they start asking you, hey, what about this guy from Clemson? Tell me about him. So you get to educate the NFL people, if the ones that don't watch college ball. That's always fun. So I will be streaming that on Thursday night. I don't know what time the airing starts. I think it usually starts around 8 o'clock Eastern time or something. Whatever time it is, that's when I'll be live. Which reminds me, a couple of quick announcements. I'll just go ahead and give you a breakdown for the week. Okay. Everything's going on as normal shows as far as I know. Wednesday morning, though, there's normally a midday show on Wednesday morning. I've got an appointment right at 11 o'clock, which is normally when the show starts. It was the only time we could get the appointment. Try to get it for Thursday. Try to get it for Tuesday. Try to get it for Wednesday at a different time. Couldn't get it at any of those times. So, I don't know. Obviously, if I'm not here, I can't do the show if I'm at an appointment. So, I don't know. I'll let you know something. I might be able to do a makeup midday show or something at some point during the week to replace Wednesday. But as of right now, there's just not going to be any Wednesday midday show. And then, of course, a special stream for the NFL draft on Thursday night. And I guess everything should be back to normal other than that. You know what I mean, Fern? I was back at the scene of the crime this weekend. The scene of the crime, both figuratively and literally. We were back at the Isle of Palms over the weekend. We had a good time out there. Saturday, we were at Coconut Joe's for the afternoon. It's Roger's favorite restaurant. I meant to take a picture while I was at Coconut Joe's of myself and text it to Raj, but I forgot. But the reason I say the scene of the crime is because you guys heard about the shooting that happened right there where we were staying. What was it, 3 or 4 weeks ago? It was high school kids. So one high school kid apparently, there was a bunch of them there skipping school or something, and there was a big fight that broke out. The police came. One of the kids pulled out a gun and started shooting people. Shot 6 people, but no one died. And we did notice there was a heavy police presence on the beach. You know, there's these cops riding around on 4-wheelers and stuff, fucking with people. I had a feeling it had to do with now they do that anyway during the busy season. But it was beautiful out there. I mean, I don't know, it was like 85 degrees. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. The beach was packed. But we had a good time, and we were staying at a house out there. My in-laws had, and they invited us for the weekend. It was, oh God, what a great house! What a great house! Like a block from the beach, like a 5-minute walk from the beach. It had a golf cart too, a 6-person golf cart that you were allowed to use to drive all over the island or to the beach and back or whatever. A pool in the backyard, 2 fire pits. I mean, it was awesome. The property was awesome. But I'm getting old. I can't hang like I used to. I don't know what time we went to bed. The first night, Friday night, I think it was close to 5 o'clock in the morning. We had a kind of a party out there. We had a good time. But I don't know whose bright idea it was to walk down to the beach at like 3 a.m. So we walked down to the beach like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of us. 3 o'clock in the morning. We walk about a mile down the beach. I don't know exactly how far. You guys remember where the pier is? We did the Slav Olympics just south of the pier. That's where our hotel and all that little area that we were in. That's just south of that main pier that you see. We were staying on the north side of that, like the more private part of the more private part of the beach, where all the beach houses are. Anyway, we walk from our house. We was like a 4 or 5 minute walk to the beach. Then we head towards the pier. We walk all the way down to the pier, which I don't know exactly how far it was, maybe 3/4 of a mile, something like that. And then we walk back. Now, I kind of separated myself from the group of people and just went off on my own. I was just walking down the beach by myself, basically. I kind of just, they were doing whatever they were doing. I just kind of broke off from them and was doing my own thing. It was really late. Like I said, it was like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. So then we all sort of like meet up back at the entrance. We walk back to the house. As soon as I get back to the house, I realized that I don't have my phone. And I knew I had taken my phone with me on the beach. So now I know for sure that my phone is on that fucking beach somewhere. In the middle of the night. Anyway, to make a long story short, me and 2 other guys, they volunteered to come help me find my phone on the beach. And we walked down there, and we're walking down the beach with flashlights and shit. And I kind of had an idea where I thought I might have lost it, because I had to jump over like you know how at low tide there's like pools of water that gather in the low areas? Well, there was one area where I had jumped over that. And I figured that's probably where it fell out of my pocket whenever I leaped over that water. And anyway, so one of the other guys found it. It was actually submerged in the water. So shout out to iPhone. My phone works fine. It was laying in a puddle for the better part of an hour on the beach. And also, whenever I got it back to the house, it was all full of sand and shit. Like all the ports, all sandy. I stuck it underneath the damn. I stuck it in the sink and washed it out like a rag. Now the only thing is, the next morning, until it fully dried out, if you plugged it in to charge, it would tell you that they detected a liquid in the charging port, and to let it dry out before you charge it. But after about 4 or 5 hours, it completely dried out, and I haven't had an issue since. So, yeah, but that was interesting. Talk about looking for a needle in a haystack. Let's see who's in the chat here real quick. Of course, just like every other midday show, I will read the news. And then I want to open up the StreamYard for anybody who wants to come in. Because I was so busy at the beach this weekend, I didn't see any of the spring games. I know Alabama had A-Day. I know that Colorado was one that everyone was watching. I did see a couple of like memes on the internet or videos on the internet about Colorado's spring game, how they showed pictures from last year where there was like 10 people there. And they showed pictures from this year, and the place was like sold out, packed. The Deion Sanders effect, bro. You know what I mean? But I don't know anything about the way they looked at all. I see people making fun of Alabama, how terrible they looked or something. I don't know. I feel like, well, you guys know how I feel about it. I feel like spring games, as far as judging how good a team's going to be 6 months later, is just completely silly. No matter whether they look really good or really bad, doesn't matter. You can tell maybe a little bit about individual players, kind of. But I didn't see anything about any of them. So maybe anybody who knows anything about either of those games, you can let me know about it throughout the course of the week. What should I be looking for? Did anything funny happen? Because sometimes funny shit happens. Did Deion put his foot in his mouth? You know? Did some player do or say something stupid during or after a spring game, or a coach or anything? I'd like to hear that. Also, a big commitment for Clemson over the weekend that's got the Gamecocks big mad, son. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because they thought they were getting him. And you know the whole deal. Everybody knows this. They thought they were getting him for the past 2 weeks. That's all I've been hearing is that, you know, because he announced what day he was going to commit. You know, he did the whole high school gym, pick up the hat thing that all these kids do these days. I'm taking my talents to, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, for the past 2 weeks, they've been talking about how he's, you know, projected South Carolina. We're getting him. Clemson just going to lose out on another big prospect. South Carolina's on the rise. Clemson's on the decline. Blah, 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 blah. Same shit we hear every year. Anyway, 4-star defensive lineman Heaven Brown Schuler from Atlanta, Georgia, of course, announced he was going to Clemson. And some South Carolina fans didn't take too kindly to that. You know, because he said, you know, when they asked why Clemson and not South Carolina, he goes, well, because it's Clemson. You don't say, bro. Oh, man. So some of them are on there, you know, crying into their Cheerios about how they didn't need him, you know, don't want him. One guy was even on there calling him a loser for picking Clemson over South Carolina, which is the irony at its finest. So, hey, nice try, though. Maybe you'll get the next one. I mean, if you're a defensive lineman and you're choosing between Clemson and South Carolina, I mean, that's an easy choice, isn't it? I mean, come on. Deion looks stupid in a cowboy hat. All right, let's see who's in the chat here real quick. Traveling Fool says, yo, 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 yo. Matt Dummett's here. Rec Talk. Kevron Harris. Ballard Sports Media. Welcome to Draft Week. The Carolina Panthers are on the clock. I think you might, I don't know, man. I think you might see some crazy shit. Just the Panthers. You just never know with them, man. You never know what they're going to do. I have a feeling they might do some really, really dumb shit on Thursday. We'll find out. What's up, P Digits? Nate the Great. Wilkie. What's up, Wilkie? Mike 3883. Island Boy music. Law tie one time.
Come get that ass. Peace, everybody. One love. We'll see you soon, Texas Pete.
Jeremy Garrettson. Luke. Mayhem Matthew. Stingray. What's up, Stingray? Elijah Allen. What's up, bro? Bulldog JC, Sports Talk 101. Brandon Pratt. Colorado looked as good this year as they did last year. Oh, so but there was just more people there to watch them be average or below average, rather. I'm curious to see what Deion's son. Well, I always forget his first name. I know his last name's obviously Sanders. I'm curious to see how he's going to play at a Power 5 level against Power 5 competition. Because, I mean, the guy, at Jackson State, he was probably, if not the best player on the field every week or close to it at that level. Be interesting to see how he does going up against, Power 5 level defensive lines, pass rush, linebackers, the whole thing. We'll see. Profits here. Deion will turn Colorado into a winning program if they give him the time. I don't doubt that. I'm not one of these people who thinks Deion's going to fall on his face at Colorado. But I think the expectations are ridiculous, and a lot of that's because of him. I'm sure he has high expectations. Deion is not the type of guy who handles mediocrity or losing very well from a playing level or coaching level either. So this will be the toughest job he's had. I mean, no offense to Jackson State or any of the HBCUs, but it's a whole different thing to go into a Power 5 program and take it from a dump to a winning program than it is at Jackson State. Just is. At Jackson State, you can come in and pull in all kinds of guys who are probably the best players at that level because you're Deion Sanders. Well, when you get to the Power 5, you're competing with a bunch of other elite recruiters and winning programs. Not as easy, especially at a place like Colorado. So, but look. I'm definitely not a Deion hater. We'll see what happens. We went through the schedule last week, just briefly, like game by game. Nobody could find more than 4 wins on there. Maybe 5 if they had some sort of upset, but we'll see. If he makes a bowl game, that's a major success in year 1 there. Shit, if he makes a bowl game, then he will be able to recruit and not have to rely on the transfer portal. What's up, Zona Man? Slim Shady Canes. Sea-Dog is here. D. Taylor. Hello. Battle Angel, good morning. Rick Sanchez. I've only seen positive things about Colorado. 47,000 in attendance in Colorado spring game is a win in itself. Yeah, we talked about that. I mean, I don't think that the attendance at the spring game has anything to do with anything. I mean, as far as how the team's going to look. Also, they got, talk about holes. They've got gaping holes. They've got cannonball-sized holes in the side of a ship. They don't just have a couple of leaks that have sprung up. What were there, 30 people in the transfer portal that transferred out or going to transfer out? That's a ridiculously high number. I might need to go back and watch some of that. I'm sure there's somewhere on YouTube somebody's chopped it up to the highlights of the game or whatnot, because I'm not sitting through that whole thing. I'll tell you that right now. But apparently Deion Sanders had an ugly cowboy hat on. That is important. Oh, and also, here's what else I know. I know that Deion, here's the 3 things I know about the Colorado spring game. And the only 3 things I know. that there was 47,000 in attendance. That's number one. Number two, that Deion Sanders had a giant cowboy hat on. I don't know how many gallons, 10-galloner maybe. I don't know how big Deion Sanders' head is. I've never seen him in person or in real life. And then third, but not least, it was like a friggin' blizzard. They had snow plows out on the field at halftime and shit. I mean, it's just... What a scene. Deion Sanders prancing around on the sideline with a giant cowboy hat on and a blizzard. I mean, come on, you can't write this stuff. So you're saying that there's only 3 competent players on the whole team? I wonder if Deion's ever going to allow the players to wear white socks in the gym. If for some reason he's got some sort of issue with white socks, which, by the way, I this is one of the reasons I love Deion. I don't even own a pair of white socks. You know those tube socks you get from Target or Walmart or wherever the hell? Yeah, I don't own any of those. You'll never catch... You wouldn't catch me dead in a pair of white tube socks. But Deion doesn't like white socks. I don't know what his thing. Did they have to be black socks? Do they have to be gold socks? Does it have to be team colored socks, or is it just white? Can you wear blue socks? How about yellow? Pink? Purple? Shit, gray? I don't know what the rule is, but the rule is no white socks. I don't know what his hang up with white socks is. Maybe they're racist socks. I don't know. You know, everything else is these days, so why wouldn't socks be? You know. All right. Without any further ado, let's get to the news, shall we? Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. Oh, I did, before the news real quick, I forgot to mention, I don't want to do a spoiler alert. Well, it won't be spoiler alert anyway. I'll make sure I don't leave any, I won't say any details about it, but how many of you watched the season finale of Snowfall? Not the series finale, not the season finale. It came on, well, I don't know what day it aired. I think it airs on Wednesday on FX, but on Hulu, it's like a day later. They do that thing where it's like, if you don't watch it live on FX, then you can watch it 24 hours later on Hulu. That's how I've been watching it all season, is on Hulu. How many of you saw the series finale? Not only it's just a series finale, the entire last season, the entire final season, season 6. I got to tell you, first of all, that show, for anybody who hasn't seen the show Snowfall, it's all, and you have Hulu, I don't know what you're waiting on. I mean, there's 6 seasons, and every season is better than the previous one. It's right up there, man. That show is right up there with the greatest shows of all time. I'm talking Sopranos level, Breaking Bad level. That's how good it is. But You know how people all the time get pissed off about how they don't. No, shit. Hold on. Cat's about to end the show for me, bro. You jumped up on the desk and you about knocked everything over. What's your problem? Huh? You're mad about something. What was I saying? Oh, but a lot of people get mad about the way these shows end, and like, you know, the most famous one, Game of Thrones. I don't know. It didn't really bother me that much. I mean, it could have been a better ending, but it wasn't as terrible as I thought, as other people thought it was. The ending to Snowfall, I would have never ever seen coming from a mile away. And the whole final season was great. But that last episode, what do you want? What? You want to say hi to the people? You want to say hi? Yeah, say hi. Say hi. What's your problem this morning? I don't know what you want. Oh. All right, well, I'm doing a show, okay? Yeah, I would have never seen the ending of the Snowfall coming from a mile away. But the last episode of that was, it just blew my mind. So anyway, for those of you who haven't seen Snowfall, all 6 seasons are on Hulu. And I don't know what you're waiting for. Nothing like a good old officer killing story or officer killing somebody story to start the show off with. I mean, that's a great idea for my blood pressure and my sanity. Officer convicted of killing Dante Wright now released. Former Minnesota police officer who claimed she mistook her handgun for a taser. Oh, you guys remember this story. This is the lady who was going to tase the guy, but instead pulled out her gun and shot him. And she, says by accident. Which maybe it was by accident. I'm not saying it wasn't. But, these cops, they have they look like they're going to Afghanistan, not policing the streets, right? They've got 18 guns on. They've got a flak jacket. They've got, I don't know what else. They got 15 clips in there, taser gun, pepper spray, a nightstick. I mean, you could throw most of these cops right on the front lines in Iraq, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them and an Army Ranger with the way that they're armed in America. But so she grabbed the wrong weapon. She has about 30 weapons on her. She grabbed the wrong one. So I mean, honest mistake. So, but she fatally shot Dante Wright during a traffic stop and was released from prison on Monday. Kim Potter, who was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 2 years in prison on the April 2021 shooting, was released from the Minnesota Correctional Facility. Blah, blah, blah. She was sentenced to 2 years. How long did she serve then? Did it say? Not even a year, probably. If I ever have to shoot somebody, I'll just tell them it was an accident. I was reaching for my keys, man. I swear it was an accident. Based on the intelligence we gathered, we released Mrs. Potter at a time we felt was safest for her and everyone in the correctional facility. What? Yeah, I'm going to skip down here. What happened during the shooting? Potter and another officer pulled right over for having a blinker on in the wrong lane. I don't understand what that means. For having a blinker on in the wrong turn lane. So I guess maybe they were in the right turning lane and they had their left blinker on or something. I'm assuming that's what that means. It's got to be what it means. Or they had their blinker on and they weren't in the turning lane at all. One of those two things. Anyway, so they pull him over for a blinker violation, which is a very serious crime, by the way. The officers learned that Wright had an unrelated warrant. Yep. Man had a warrant. And Potter fatally shot him while yelling taser during a struggle as they attempted to detain him. The shooting came as former police officer Derek Chauvin on his trial in Minneapolis for the 2020 murder of George Floyd. Yeah, all that. Judge said that Potter made a tragic mistake and apologized during the sentencing. She faced a maximum of 15 years. This is not a cop found guilty of murder for using a knee to pin down a person for 9.5 minutes as he gasped for air. Potter was a cop who made a tragic mistake. Well, yeah. I don't think this was like I don't know. You can't get inside these people's minds. It's very possible that it was just a very tragic mistake. But again, I don't blame. So, at least in some of these cases, some of them I do, some of them I don't. Sometimes I don't blame the police officer when they do something like this. I blame the entire institution, the training, the vetting of officers, the culture of police. So a lot of different things go into it. But at the end of the day, a person who got pulled over for probably a misdemeanor bench warrant got shot for no reason. So. No, it's the same shit. I did a whole rant on this. Now, this is just an ad. Which is clearly a clickbait ad. So if I click on this, it's not gonna tell me anything about what the headline's saying here. But this is fake news. Okay, this is a lie. The 220 year for search Oak Island treasure is over. No, it's not. Well, if it's over, it's just because those two idiots stopped looking. Not because they found what they were looking for. That's for damn sure. If they found what they were looking for, it would be the headline of every news story in the world right now. So, no, it's not over. The Earth just got hit with 2 powerful solar flares and more are on the way. Great. Yeah, we know what the whole thing did, but solar flares can interrupt, digital communications, electronic communications, all that, but we know that. How dangerous are solar flares? While the mission was fictional, the potential danger of extreme solar activity is very real. Coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, happen all the time. And they've sucker punched our planet more than once. There were reports that the telegraph lines were so energized that at least one telegraph office burst into flames. Certainly, modern society relies much more heavily on communications technologies, and similar event today would likely be much more catastrophic. Yeah, shuts down a power grid, internet, all that. That's a problem. That's a problem. They pose a particular risk to any astronauts in orbit. Worse, because the damaging electromagnetic radiation travels at the speed of light. By the time we see the flare coming, it's already here. I swear this cat is trying to do anything possible to get my attention. It does not want me to do the show right now. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory captured this image of a solar flare as seen in the bright flash of the lower light portion of the image at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 19th, 2022. An image shows a subset of extreme ultraviolet light that highlights an extremely hot material and flares in colorized SDO channel color blue, whatever that means. All right. So this was a fictional sort of like test run by apparently to see what these big time powerful solar flares could possibly do to a modern society on Earth, and also how we could possibly combat it either before or after the event. Now this, I'm not going to click on this because this is just like, this goes, you know, I could do a whole show on this. We'd likely have to liquidate Jupiter to build a Dyson sphere around the sun. That would take too long to even explain to people who don't really pay attention to what any of that means, as far as what a Dyson sphere even is, and how far away are we as a civilization from being able to do something like that. Probably millions of years, if at least hundreds of thousands. So I'll save all of you yeah, what are you doing? I know you guys can hear that. Oh, look at this one. So I'm just like scrolling for a decent article here. The Saudi crown prince wants to build $1 trillion utopia in the desert. His deals with China reveal the darker vision. Well, they've already started to try to do that, haven't they? I don't know, I mean. By 2040, Saudi Arabia is aiming to build a futuristic city in the desert called NEOM. I wonder what that means. Or what it stands for, NEOM. So here's a picture. Oh, I've heard about this. Have you seen this thing? It's like I don't even know how you describe it. It's like a high-rise sky. It's like a skyscraper if you took a giant skyscraper that was like 2 miles high and laid it on its side. You can see a picture of it right here. So they have the sea right here, obviously, and then this kind of like little inlet here area where you can go boating, fishing, laying out on the beach, whatever that is. Which in this picture looks small, but to scale, it's big. I mean, those little white dots are supposed to be boats, so it's pretty big. And then, you know, right next to that, you have this. Let's see how long they say it is. The city is set to have a 100-mile long vertical skyscraper running through its heart, also known as the Strip. It will be carved through the desert in the arid northwest of the country. 100-mile-long skyscraper. That is wild. It will also feature glow-in-the-dark beaches, ski slopes, an artificial moon. What? An artificial moon. Robot butlers. Flying taxis. Jesus Christ. We've been hearing about flying cars since the 80s. We thought by now we'd all be flying around in cars. Wrong. No such luck. I've yet to see a flying car. But behind the outlandish plan, which was developed by Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is a potentially much darker reality. Yeah, the amount of slave labor that's going to go into building that place, that's the darker reality. Hell, that sounds like a way bigger project than building, the World Cup Stadium in the Middle East, which, I don't know how many hundreds or probably even possibly thousands of slave labor people died in terrible working and living conditions for over a decade building that fucking stadium that they used there. Imagine how many people are going to be paid 3 cents a day and live in terrible conditions between now and 2040 to build that 100-foot or 100-mile wide or long vertical or horizontal skyscraper. The Crown Prince has been strengthening its ties with China's leader, who has agreed to provide powerful surveillance technology. What, like that balloon? Yeah, he's kidding. Yeah, man, we got you. We shit. You think that's the only balloon we had? We got thousands of them things. Balloon, bro. Balunani Gigi, a Harvard University fellow who researches China's global ambitions, told Insider that Xi is seeking to normalize and seek to legitimize its version of state-led cyberspace and surveyed public. Well, they're already doing that. China has already provided surveillance technology for the creation of so-called, quote-unquote, safe cities run on user data in Egypt, Serbia. Crown Prince Mohammed appears keen to replicate those projects on a grander scale. So he wants to take what China's surveillance state and just take it to another level, bro. What is NEOM? Yeah, that was my question. Oh, here we go. Listen to this bullshit. Listen to this bullshit. This might be the biggest bullshit you hear all day. NEOM is a so-called zero-carbon city of the future. It's centerpiece of the Crown Prince's attempt to modernize the country and reduce its reliance on fossil fuels. You're talking about this guy who probably has $1 trillion or more, because nobody knows that when people start talking about, this man's the richest man on the planet, like Elon Musk, richest man on the planet, or Jeff Bezos, or whoever. Whatever, Bolt, a multi-hundred billionaire out there that people call the richest man on the planet. Nobody, that's because they report their earnings and you have some sort of idea what their companies that they own are worth and their homes that they own are worth and all of their business ventures and all of their capital. People have zero idea how much these Saudi princes are worth. Trillions of dollars. And how did they build that fortune? That's right. You guessed it. Oil. Natural gas, fossil fuels. So this guy, does anybody really think that he is interested in reducing the use of fossil fuels? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard before. That's like Apple going, you know what? We really want to reduce the use of cell phones. What? Yeah, we're trying to get people to stop using cell phones. Well, I don't know that what's going to happen here. Look at that picture. Look at that picture. That's cool. It says they're shooting for this thing to be completed by 2040. I seriously doubt that's going to happen. Right. So, we'll see. Why it's so hard to look for evidence of aliens? It's not hard to look for evidence of aliens. What do you mean? If aliens really exist, how could we find them? Well, it'll take a long time before we find them. More likely they'd find us first. Also, it depends on what your definition of alien is. Is it a little green man flying around in a flying saucer? Or is it, a microbe? Or some sort of lower level life form on another planet, like an insect or something? A fish. I mean, technically, an extraterrestrial insect is definitely an alien, even if it's not intelligent. The discovery of China's spy balloon drew attention to a number of other unidentified objects in the sky, sparking controversies and theories and rumors about aliens. This is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, people just now started really talking about UFOs when the China balloon came around. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. Who wrote this? I got to see who wrote this. This is from some publication called The Week. Staff writer Devika Rao. I don't know. Do they not have editors at The Week? Somebody reading this shit before they publish it? Anybody can write articles these days. I swear to God they can. How could we find aliens? Some researchers argue that we are closer than we think to finding evidence of extraterrestrial life. Well, if you think it, then we're not closer, are we? Or we are closer. This person should not be writing about this subject. I'm moving on. And it's just like... How many of you are big mad about this? About the clock stopping after the first down deal? You know how I feel about it. I don't like it necessarily. I don't like change in general when it comes to college football or any other sport. Some changes are good, some aren't. But this is a response. This is a knee-jerk response, and fixing what the real problem is. If you think that college football games are lasting too long, it's not because of stopping the clock after a first down, because that's always been the case. But if that's always been the case, but somehow in the past, whatever 10 years or so, the games continue to get longer and longer and longer and longer, but with the same rules they had before, then what's the reason? I'll give you three guesses. Hell, I'll give you one guess because there's only one right answer. Why are the games continue to get longer and longer? It's very easy, and it has nothing to do with the clock stopping. Yes. Well, yes. So there's more than one reason, but you hit the nail right on the head as far as the TV commercials. When you're sitting at home and you're watching the game on TV and it goes to commercial, now you might kind of notice that it seems like there's a longer commercial breaks and a lot more commercial breaks or whatever. But nowhere do you notice it more than when you're actually at the football game that's being televised. Because it seems like every 3 seconds they're having a TV timeout. So whatever, however many timeouts they're awarded, for the coaches or players to call a timeout during the game, add another 50 to that. The game is one long fucking timeout. That's what it is now. And on top of that, the replay system is what really needs to be fixed. I mean, we're watching it on TV. There's whether trying to decide whether it was a completion or an incompletion or whatever. We see it clear as fans on the TV because the cameras these days are ridiculously good at high definition and close up and this and that. And there's a million camera angles now too. I mean, they're coming from the sky, they're coming from pylons and shit. And there's cameras everywhere. And so the announcer goes, yeah, well, that's clearly not a catch. Look at his foot's out of bounds or whatever. Let's bring on so and so from back in New York where he's watching. One of the referee people. What do you think about this, Bob? What do you think they're going to do? Yeah, clearly his foot's out of bounds. We see that it's out of bounds well before he catches the ball, Bob. Okay, so we all know it. The announcers know it. The rules guy in New York knows it. But for some fucking reason, these jabronis have to stand on the field for 10 minutes looking into a camera, a TV screen the size of your palm of your hand, tiny little screen with their head in there. Then they look at it for 10 minutes. Then they start discussing it, talking back and forth. This is the reason that football games take so long, not because of the clock stopping on first down. It's ridiculous. I think they should take reviews out of the on-field referees' hands. If they feel like it's something that needs to be reviewed, then have somebody in a remote location who's got the answer for you in 2 seconds. And they radio it down to the guy on the field. Hey, we just looked at it. Incomplete. Bam. 10 seconds. 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes. So, I don't know. I mean, this'll I don't know how this will change the play calling or if it will at all. I guess. Well, it's definitely going to change play calling and situational football if you I mean, clock management's already one of the more difficult things to do during a game. We see every year coaches that are seasoned veterans of head coaching in major football for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And sometimes they still make these boneheaded plays when it comes to plays or strategies when it comes to clock management, especially towards the end of the half or the end of the game. So this will change that. You know, and then of course the first game that we see where the time, the running clock becomes a reason why maybe a team loses that maybe would have had more time in it, in previous years to have a game-winning field goal or game-winning touchdown. Then you're going to have that fan base crying, well, if we would have had the rules that we were for the past 100 years, we would have won the game. We only needed 3 more yards, blah, 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 blah. We only needed 10 more seconds. Now it's just going to open up more crybabies too crying about the clock. And we would have won if, those people. So. We need more commercials on radio. Yeah, from a financial reason. I mean that makes sense. They do it with the intent of speeding up the pace of play and retaining an interest in regular season games. Again, see, this is my problem with the argument and the rule in general. Going back to what I said originally, they're blaming the whole reason they're blaming the longer. They're saying, oh well, just like baseball is doing with the running pitching clock, which by the way, college football and Major League Baseball couldn't be two more completely opposite types of sport on the planet, especially when it comes to time. But they're blaming this like they did with the baseball. Well, this new generation, they're all on TikTok and YouTube shorts, and they can't pay attention to anything for more than 3 minutes at a time, and they lose interest if there's if the clock stops. No, they don't. They lose interest whenever you spend 15 minutes reviewing a catch. That's when they lose interest. And I also don't believe the theory that young people's attention spans are so short that they don't like long form entertainment. That's just false. Yeah, young people have no problem whatsoever sitting through 4 hours of a Harry Potter movie or whatever, 3.5 hour long anime movie or Marvel movie. But the most popular podcaster on the planet, and it's not even close, is Joe Rogan. Every one of his podcasts are 3 and 4 hour long. He doesn't have any problem with people listening and downloading his podcast. So it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. I don't like it, so. All right, this will be the last news story that I read, and then I will go right to the StreamYard. I can't believe it's already after 12. The show's going by quick today. Maybe because it's Monday. Taiwanese woman suffers severe burns after being doused with hot soup over a $652 debt. Well, hey. $652, not a lot. I mean, unless you're rich, that's a decent amount of money to anybody. So either pay or you get the soup. A woman suffered severe burns after 2 people assaulted her at a karaoke lounge in Taiwan and poured scalding soup on her. Sounds like a fun night out at the karaoke bar, Oh, man. In the video, 2 women, Sun, 29, and Chen, 26, can be seen brawling in a private room of the karaoke lounge. Man, they got a private karaoke room? It's like the strip club, right? Oh, we have better karaoke in here. Yes, you have to pay more. Seconds later, a man joins in and starts pulling the hair of Sun, the woman wearing the white long sleeve shirt. And then she and Chen struggle on the floor. The man appears to try to pry Sun off of Chen, the woman wearing a gray shirt. This is like a... So, there you go. So this is the Chen, and Sun is the... So I believe this woman right here on the left with the white shirt on, she must be the one that gets the soup poured on her. And she's getting jumped by this woman and this man, basically. I don't want to know about it. I just want to know what's going on here. All three people were arrested, including Chen, a male assailant later identified as her brother, and the man who allegedly filmed the attack. Yeah, what about the guy who filmed the attack? Was he arrested? They were eventually released on bail, with Chen having to pay the highest among the $300,000 or 300,000 new Taiwan dollars, or approximately 9,790 American dollars. All right, this is what I wanted to know. The two women were good friends before their relationship turned sour after Sun borrowed money from Chen, amounting to 20,000 new Taiwan dollars, or approximately 652 American dollars. So this is, well, everybody should know this about, well, there's two things. Employing friends, close friends. I've done that in the past, and it's been, well, it's rough, okay, to be your friend's boss. All right. And also loaning money to friends. Typically, my rule of thumb is you don't lend money to friends. Now, having said that, I would also do whatever I can do to help a friend out if they're in need, and if it includes giving them money or not. Here's the way I look at it: if you're able to help a friend out, maybe giving them the money is better than lending it to them. And if they want to pay with the expectation that you're not going to get the money back, that way nobody gets their feelings hurt. Because the whole thing, well, I'll pay you back in a week, and then a week later, well, I don't have the money, I'll have to pay you back next week, and then next week rolls around, well, I don't know, I have to wait till next month because I got my car broke down. And then people start getting mad at each other. Well, it's never come to the point with me where I've had to pour scalding hot soup on any of my friends, so that's a good thing. You know? Shen, who's the one who poured the soup on the other lady, who was reportedly pregnant, was supposed to meet Sun at the karaoke lounge to sort out the debt issue. Yeah, but that's always a great place to go sort out debt issues. Karaoke bars. Hey, we really got to take care of this problem. We need to get together and talk about it. All right, meet me at the karaoke bar. So, anyway, they met at the karaoke lounge. One thing led to another. Before you know it, someone's getting boiling soup poured on them. So, all right. Let's get to the StreamYard, shall we? Welcome to the Midday Show.
Hey, Pete.
What's up, Nate?
Hi. I don't know if you saw the resort. I know it stays in, but I don't know if you saw the picture of the resort I sent you, but I think that looked nice. the resort I sent you or the text the other day. But
Yeah, there's a bunch of nice places there,
yeah,
but not for $100 a night.
yeah. I mean, it's like what, like 1,000 total. Jeez.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah. But yeah, right now I'm not doing anything because I don't have anything to do. I asked my coworker, or what do you call it? Yeah, coworker, and he said he has nothing for me to do, so I'm chilling until lunch. So
That's good. Hey, real quick, I see cousin Casey in the chat. I was hoping you'd come in here today. I saw that you said that you sent me an email on, I think it was on Friday. So I saw the email. I opened it up and there was no content to the email. It was an empty email basically. So I don't know if that was intentional. I don't think you would send me an empty email intentionally and then tell me to check my email, or if something happened on your end or my end. I don't know. But whatever you sent me, I didn't get it. I mean, it's just blank. So if you haven't got a response from me about your email, that's wise, because there is no email.
I haven't shaved since the Slob Olympics.
Huh?
I haven't shaved until the Slob Olympics.
Oh, you haven't shaved since the Slob Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
I'm growing my beard out. It's not really a full beard, but oh yeah, I did play my hockey game on this Saturday, or this last Saturday.
Yeah.
And I went to a shootout. I was fourth in line for the shootout for my team, and well, I did try to do fancy stuff, but I should have just shot in the net.
So did you make it?
I missed it.
Oh, so you all lost.
The goalie robbed me, so
You guys lost.
Trying to dig around and then shoot it. I'm more of a snapshot person. Just whip it, but
hey, you can't win them all, Nate.
I know, but it's a playoff game, but it's not really a playoff game. But it's like a round robin. So the first game is, well, we'll still get a point because we still tied, or I don't know what it's called, but so basically it's round robin. We lost our shootout loss for the first game, and then 2 weeks after, gotta wait for 2 weeks for our next game, and the game, or the game that in 2 weeks we'll play a dirty team. Basically,
A dirty team, huh?
they play dirty. Or what?
They play dirty. What do they do? Like, can you name some of the things that they do that you consider to be dirty?
Well, this is a no check league, so they kind of push you around and.
So they just get a little. They get a little bit physical.
Mm-hmm.
Try to intimidate you that way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do.
Yeah. Well, you can just always accidentally drop your stick when they're skating full speed and they have to, like, your skate hits your stick. Oops, sorry, drop my stick. Watch them face plant on the ice.
But yeah, I'm not gonna do what I did to. I didn't. I will not do. I won't do like I did to the girl. That story. Remember that story I told you? I know. So basically, I chatted a girl when I was little.
Yeah, you talking about when you abused that young lady? Yeah, that was really terrible of you to do that, Nate. You're nicer than that.
I know. I'm not gonna do it like that in the league, but I'll probably be a little physical.
You're not going to switch teams, are you? You're not going to switch teams and try to get on one of these women's teams like these guys do now? You know what I'm talking about?
No. My team has women on them, so.
Yeah.
Some, but not real. Not all, but it's basically all like a co-ed adult league, like
right,
women and men.
That's fine. Co-ed league is fine, yeah. But that's understood. But you're not going to change your name to Natalie and try to go play on a women's team, are you?
Hell no. I'm not fucking doing. I'm not trans, so I'm not planning to be on trans.
So you're at work right now? You're just not working?
Yeah, I asked if I needed to do more work, and I asked to do more work. And she said, "I don't have anything for you to do, so I don't know what to do."
That's a good point. Casey says Nate says he's not going to do that, but yet he shows up in a Hooters waitress outfit.
Well, that's for I want to be the first Hooter waiter.
Oh, did you hear the good
waitress.
news? So Nate, here's a backstory to this. We've been talking about where the central hotel is going to be for the Slav Olympics in 2024 in Panama City Beach, and everyone's been throwing out ideas. Of course, Traveling Fools is the one that came up with the Panama City Beach idea, and also immediately after we decided that's where we wanted it to be, he started sending this stuff. He was the first one to send the days in. He's very good at looking this kind of thing up. First of all, he's been there a bunch of times, but he also knows what that price point and location and all that, and the amenities at the hotel. Those are all things that matter. So, look, the Days Inn. I mean, if anyone's ever been to a Days Inn, all right, it's not the Hilton. It's not the nicest hotel in the world, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
I mean, as long as it's not a complete and total dump, which it looks actually for a Days Inn, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, but in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a big giant swimming pool. It's got I think a couple of bars in there.
Yeah.
The rooms are what they are. I mean, it's just a basic hotel room. I don't know but you don't need a super nice room if all you're going to be doing is sleeping in it.
Yeah. The one I sent to Peete, it has like 2 beds, 2 bunk beds in.
Yeah, but so listen to this, Nate. I don't know if you heard about this.
Uh-oh.
Right next to the hotel, the Days Inn, is a Hooters.
I'll be right back.
Oh.
I just booked my room. Just kidding.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to Hooters.
Yeah, shit, we know. And I'm probably going to go too with you, and not because I want to go to Hooters for any reason other than to watch you in Hooters. I mean, I'll be Nate watching, not Hooter watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't do 2 things in one, so you gotta pick one.
Right.
But you would love to, look, but you can't.
Gotta love Nate throwing that sneak diffs in there too.
What?
He said you can't do 2 things at once.
And he said he's trying to say that he says I can't look. Well, I can look, Nate. I just can't touch. There's a difference.
There's nothing wrong with window shopping.
Right.
They should change the rule like NCAA did, is to
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
damn it.
Now, speaking of which, I hate to piss on your parade. You do know there's already a guy sitting in a booth at every game whose job is to do nothing but watch replays. There's already a replay official.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just still
So the guy on the field doesn't make the determination. The replay official does.
Then what's the point of him looking into that camera for 10 minutes?
Exactly.
He's looking. He's definitely having input and weighing in, and they're discussing it back and forth. The guy on the field.
That I'm sure they're doing, but
Yeah, but they didn't eliminate that conversation. Eliminate that conversation altogether. Have one guy that looks at it on a high definition camera in some studio somewhere or some office somewhere, determines what the issue is within 10 or 15 seconds, and radios down immediately to the guy on the field who's waiting to make the call.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
That's my point.
now over under. This rule change is going to save 30 seconds out of a game.
Oh,
My money's on the under.
yeah, over.
I think you're going to get about 30 seconds shaved off a game. That's about it.
It's awful.
I don't know where you get that number. How many first downs by average are there in a game?
I don't know. I can't keep going.
When you're down. Here's the thing, though. They're eliminating stopping the clock, but they're only stopping the clock to move the chains.
Right.
And then the clock restarts.
Right. I get that. Yeah.
So look, like I said, you're only going to save about 30 seconds in a game tops.
Right.
I think it'd be more than that.
minutes.
I think it'd be more than that, but not much. Yeah, so I agree with you that
45
I agree with you that it's not going to fix the problem, because that's not the problem to begin with. So
Yeah. But yeah, I actually been to Panama City, I think twice, but not a whole lot. But it is, the water's hotter, or not hotter. It's warmer than the Atlantic because it's the Gulf.
Guess what? It's still gonna be fucking cold in March. I promise you that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've never been in March in Florida or Panama City, so
It's still cold in May. I'll put it that way.
In Florida?
No, the water's still cold.
Oh, the water. Yeah. Well,
damn it.
I got a wetsuit. I don't care about that.
I got Hooters outfit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding. I would not.
I'm still gonna do it. I don't know. I'm gonna go snorkeling or something
Yeah, I'm probably gonna join you if you don't mind.
because the Gulf water is so much better a place to do
Yeah, it's
snorkeling
clear, too.
than it is on the Atlantic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've actually been snorkeling before. It's awesome.
I would actually. I'd rather go scuba diving, but that involves like an entire day or half a day of
need a
getting
fucking-
certified and all that shit, and then you have to rent the
Yeah,
equipment. And
Yeah, you need a fucking 2 tanker.
yeah, I'm not trying to go exploring the ocean floor for 6 hours, Nate. I just want to go scuba diving for like 30
I
minutes or
know.
something. Yeah.
I like snorkeling because I've never been scuba diving, so I don't know.
Wow.
I would like to try it, but I think it's too hard for me to hold my breath too long. So.
You don't have to hold your breath. That's the kind of the point.
Oh wait, that's free diving.
Yeah.
Yeah, F that. I don't know how people do that. Holding your breath too long near the ocean floor, F that.
Yeah, that's not my thing either, Nate. That sounds terrifying. Yeah.
I even tried holding my breath for, I don't know, 30 seconds. It's fucking painful from my chest.
I think the world record's somewhere around 4 minutes.
Oh my god.
It's more than that.
I can't imagine that. That's painful. And even for your lungs. But
You know what's even scarier? Have you seen these people that go free diving underneath like frozen lakes or whatever?
yeah, F that.
Where they cut a hole. It's almost like you're going ice fishing. They cut a hole in the ice, and then somebody dives down there for like 5 minutes, but they swim away from where the hole is. So if they wanted to come up for air, they can't. They got to go back to where the hole's at.
Yeah,
I don't.
F that.
Why would you want to do that?
I would do ice fishing than that.
I mean, I get that it looks cool down there and everything. I mean, if you see the videos of the people that do this, like underneath the ice, it's really cool looking. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
I mean, I'm good on diving into that water, period.
I know it's like 313 days away from the next one, but we still have a lot of time for suggestions for
There's a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff going on between now and then too. We got the softball game.
Show. Wait, what?
We got the softball game in July.
Yeah,
We've got-
I'm still 50-50 on that, so
We've got a bunch of us going to Cherokee next month.
I wish I was. I gotta pick one.
And I want to clear something up. This reminds me.
Mhm.
So you know how Lou is always saying there's nothing to do in Cherokee other than gamble. That's just not true.
You can hike.
Let me fix what he's trying to say. What he really means to say is there's nothing that he likes to do that's in Cherokee other than gamble. That's
Lou says a lot of goofy shit that most
Yeah,
people
that's
don't
true.
believe, so we didn't believe that either.
You can
well. Now I
hike.
will give him this. There's not a. I mean, it's not like Myrtle Beach or something or Orlando where there's like a million things to do. But there's if you like being in the outdoors and doing outdoor type activities, there's a million things to do in Cherokee.
Example, hiking.
Yeah. So I meant.
Well, see, you're talking about a man that doesn't leave his house except to go to Cherokee.
Well, that's true.
Well, actually, he does leave the house for Cherokee often now. So
So we're going to be up there for whatever it is, 3 days.
You gotta make him go hiking.
One of those afternoons, and this doesn't take long. I'm going to try my best to get him to go.
Oh.
The place that we went, there's two different places too, but we went the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. All right, it's in Cherokee. Well, it's in several states. It's in Tennessee. It's in North Carolina. There's multiple entrances and parks. But anyway, one of the entrances and parks is in Cherokee, North Carolina. It's whatever 20 minutes away from the casino drive. But first of all, the drive in there, you go down the I forget what they call it, the scenic Smoky Mountain Highway or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's awesome drive.
I'll be right back.
You know, right through the mountains. You go through a bunch of tunnels that they've drilled through the mountains. There's probably at least 7 or 8 different giant lookout points where you can pull your car over and get good pictures. And then when you get to the state park, there's a bunch of different stuff you can do there too. But there's a hiking trail. They call it a hiking trail. It's not really a hiking trail. When I think of hiking, I think about going up a mountain, right? And there's some it's pretty physically vigorous. So you have to do some light climbing, but definitely a lot of climbing up or stepping up rocks and stuff like that. This is not really hiking. It's more just of a long walk in the woods. There's a trail that runs right along a river, and it's completely flat. And it's only, I think, 1.6 miles or something like that each way. So it's a 3-mile total walk. And it's really pretty. It's relaxing. And I'm going to try to get them to do that. He might not want to leave the casino, though. I don't know. I'm going either way. I don't
get that on video. I think Mike can see that.
And at the end of the trail, this is funny, too, because at the end of the walking trail, if you keep walking, once the path ends, you're immediately in civilization on the reservation. And so there's a bunch of stores there, it's almost like, when you go to like Panama City Beach or Myrtle Beach or somewhere and they have all those gift stores where they, like Big Wave and whatever, and they sell all the beach apparel, like the giant store, like gift shops.
Yeah.
Well, they have one of those there, but it's just all Indian or Native American stuff.
Which is cool, actually.
Yeah, it is. It was really cool, actually. They had all kinds of different knives in there. Half of the knives they were selling in there were illegal in most states. Switchblades and butterfly knives and fixed blades that were, definitely longer than legal. But the thing about the reservation is they make their own laws. So it's not legal for them to sell or have a knife on the reservation, but once you take it off the reservation, then now you have to deal with whatever repercussions for buying an illegal or owning an illegal knife or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, there's a thought. You bring up this walking trail. We should do a slob camping trip.
Slob camping trip.
I love camping.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Get a bunch of slobs out in the woods and see what happens.
You see, dog.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sea Dog should be prepared if he was truthful with us.
Any golf? Yes, there's a golf course at the. Well, I don't know if it's at the resort, but it's close by. And from what I could see, it's a nice golf course too. I don't know, and I think they have some sort of thing. If you're staying at the resort or the hotel or whatever, then you can get some sort of like discount on the golf package or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, slob camping trip.
I'm gonna give that one a little more thought. Maybe I want to come up with something good.
We keep adding more and more slob events.
I mean, might as well. You got something better to be doing?
Well, no, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying.
Eventually, we're gonna run out of ideas, and it'll just be, slobs going to lunch.
Man, I actually
Slob lunch trip at Hooters.
you can go to Hooters for first place.
Yeah, at Hooters. I know. I feel like there's a lot going on. we got this Cherokee trip. We've got
Slob softball.
we got the softball game. Now we take a family vacation every summer. We have 2 vacations every summer. One during spring break, which is what we had a couple of weeks ago when we were out of town, and we do one a couple of weeks in the summer, in the middle of the summer. This year, it's going to be like 2 weeks after the softball game. We were going to go that week, but obviously the softball game is happening, so we're going after that, like like the first 2 weeks of August or something, because the kids start school back the 3rd week of August. When do your kids go back to school, Slim?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Considering both schools are destroyed, things are kind of up in the air.
Oh, from that tornado?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Correct.
Oh, no.
Like they're already done for the year. They've already announced that.
Wow. So after the tornado destroyed the school, they just said, yeah, we'll see you next year?
Kind of.
Wow.
Apparently, they had no backup plan in place, which strikes me as odd, but whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what do you do if the school gets destroyed? Because I mean, how many years does it take to build that school? Probably. I don't know how big the school is, but.
Well, the middle school should be done quicker because that one wasn't as bad. The elementary school, like the hall where the kindergartner and first graders are, and the gym, completely gone.
Wow. Yeah. No, I think it normally takes like 5 or 4 years to build a elementary school. I don't know.
Yeah, turn that off.
Well, I don't think it'll take that long,
But I don't know.
I mean, they're going to set up, and I've already delivered some of it. They're going to set up temporary structures, so they're going to start back at sometime in August. But smart idea. They decided to tear up the baseball field to have some place with these temporary structures.
Robot. It's
So
good.
whoever's doing all this is a real chance.
Sorry, I'm changing Nightbots. Keeps talking about come to Isle of Palms.
Oh, Pete.
What?
So NASA. I mean, they didn't really announce anything, but they do have a. I know they have this website, but they have a planet searcher or planet discover site that you can look at different planets.
Yeah. Right.
I was wondering if you want to look at it, but
yeah, not today.
Oh.
But that's not a bad idea.
maybe some other Midday show you could look at it, or
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I was just sending you the information through text.
Yeah, listen, I can look at that stuff all day, Nate. But most of my viewers, like they can only take the space talk in like short increments,
I get it.
and then they get bored.
I know.
So.
I was just idea.
Right.
But I did find some other Earths, or what you call it, exoplanets or whatever.
Yes.
And some of them are actually pretty nice, to be honest. Kind of like earthy. But spore.
He's talking about other planets like they're a vacation spot. Yeah, I mean, I found some pretty nice ones on there, you know.
One of them is called Tea Garden. I'm not joking. There's one.
Yeah, you know what planet doesn't look nice? Mars.
I know.
It looks awful.
Even Venus, that's a hellhole. So
Don't mind the color red, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
The 80-mile-an-hour winds, you know, the temperature change from 100 degrees during the day to 200 below zero at night. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a very good vacation spot to me. The solar wind, all the, the radiation from having virtually no atmosphere, that too. Yeah, that's not very good.
There you go, Pete.
Well, didn't you listen to Elon? We're just going to start lobbing nukes at it, and it's going to create an atmosphere.
Yeah, I love that idea. He's like, well, we can just nuke the poles and it will release, moisture into the atmosphere. Like, yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
I'm all for nuking shit.
Yeah. You know how Slim likes to blow shit up with tannerite? We're just going to blow up Mars's poles with a nuclear bomb. Same thing.
Right? Can I push the button? Please.
Sounds like fun.
It does, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that is just the link if you want to look at it like off stream or something.
Roger Dodger says that he would pay to see a slob rodeo. Now, here's that is one thing that is definitely never happening. There will be no slob rodeo, bro.
Why not?
Well, all right, let's put it this way. Maybe I jumped the gun. I'm not participating in a slob rodeo, but I'll view it. I'd like to see, just go down the list if any of these slobs try to ride a bucking bronco. Or even, hey, can you imagine bull riding? Slob bull riding?
I actually tried
I
it
mean, I've
before.
never rode a bull, but when let's see, how old was I? I was like 20 or 21. It seemed like a good idea to snatch a bandana that was tied to the bull's horns, and you got $500 if you got it.
Those people are certifiably insane.
I rode a bull
No,
once.
I'm not.
No, the
no,
people that
actually,
ride bulls in these rodeos are certified. They're insane.
Yeah,
There's no other way to put it. They're out of their mind.
I agree, but I actually rode a robot bull. What do you call it? Like it was to roll around.
Mechanical bull.
Yeah.
I mean, you realize how much money those people make, right, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're crippled by the time they're 30.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's
Some of them were crippled before then.
yeah, but being crippled by the time you're 30 is the best case scenario for a bull rider. Shit, the worst case scenario is you're dead.
Yeah, or you get the horn in the freaking leg or something, or worse.
Yeah.
That's painful. But yeah, I would never do a actual bull riding. I'll crap my pants before it started.
I think I'm a little too old to start doing that.
Oh, you definitely are. That's a young man. You got to start that at a very young age. I mean, there's not any. Is there any 50-year-olds out there riding bulls? There might be somewhere, but not really.
Like my age, 21 or 20.
No, I think. Well, I mean, what would you think the average age of a bull circuit or the rodeo guy is? Like early
20s.
early to mid 20s,
19,
exactly.
20.
Just like professional football or any other
Yeah.
rigorous sport. There's not that many people in their late 30s.
I'm not eligible for the NFL draft, but I'm eligible to play football, though. Still, so I'll be a junior if I'm in if I were in college.
I mean, I'm a regular attendee of stuff like that, but not a
Yeah. Hey, if I
not a participant.
if I were in college right now, I would be a junior. I mean, because I was a class of 2020 of high school, so.
So that was that's again, well, the jackass people, of course. They're the.
Okay.
But when Johnny Knoxville got in that damn ring with that bull, that thing fucked him up. I think it really did, didn't it? Didn't it like put him in the hospital? I think it did.
Probably.
Let me see if I can find a clip of that. Yeah, he's out of his mind.
I mean, he's done a lot of shit on that show that fucked him up.
Oh, he shot himself with a. I mean, he's broken his back. He's. I think he destroyed his dick. He had to piss through a catheter for like 10 years or
That's
something.
what she said. Sorry.
Seriously, he ruptured something in his dick.
Like, one of the first things he did was try and jump the LA River on some roller skates, and he broke his ankle. That was one of the first things he did for it.
Yeah. There was some sort of malfunction with that rocket he was shot up. He strapped himself. He was like an Acme. He's like an Acme character. He strapped himself like Wile E. Coyote. He strapped himself to a rocket.
Holy
A damn piece of metal shot out the side of the thing. If that
Yeah.
thing had been like 6 inches to the left, it would have gone through his chest.
Right.
That's it's awful.
What was I looking for?
Is he a stunt man? Johnny Knoxville?
Well, yes. I mean, I don't know, not officially for other films, but for Jackass, definitely.
Yeah, not
okay.
the traditional
They all are.
sense.
Oh, so okay. Imagine me riding a bull.
No, Nate, you wouldn't last 2 seconds on that bull.
Actually,
I don't think Knoxville ever actually rode a bull, though. I think it was more. If I remember right, you had like 4 of them on a fucking teeter-totter, and then they let a bull go inside the little ring.
yeah. I'll actually last for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so it did. It sent him to the hospital. Let me see. I always have an issue with not knowing whether this is going to get my stream taken down. I'm assuming it's not because whoever this person is that posted this only has like 100 subscribers. So let's see. Let me put it up on screen real quick. It's only this video clip's only a minute long, so I know you guys on StreamYard won't be able to hear it or see it. It's short. All right, here we go. Just make sure I got the volume up.
I don't think he's very
Have you been around bulls before?
I've never been around a bull in my whole entire life. Not a real one.
Oh, shit.
Hello, I am Johnny the Magnificent. Today I'm going to wow you with my supreme skills of prestidigitation.
Is that Scott Kerr?
When the wide world of sports is going on.
Looks like Scott.
How you doing?
I'm really good.
Here you go. Oh, god damn. First of all, you can see the bull gets underneath his legs at full speed, shoots him up in the air. He flips around about 4 or 5 times like a top in the air and lands. And as soon he hits his head, his head's the first thing that hits the ground. He's lucky he didn't break his neck, but you could see clearly he was knocked out cold instantly. There was no, I mean, he looked like a dead fish.
Yeah, that.
Well, let's see here. It's almost over. Let's watch the rest of it. He's just laying there motionless on the ground.
You doing okay, Johnny?
He's getting back. He's coming too.
Yeah.
He's got to have CTE, dude.
Violent brawl. One side.
Yeah, because that's not the first time he got. I remember during the show, which was before any of the movie started.
You got exactly what.
Yeah.
Butterbean knocked his ass out.
Yeah, he said, I can't remember what show he was on. It was some radio show or podcast. I don't remember. It might have been Rogan or something, but he just said that he's like, how many times do you feel like you've been concussed in your life? And he was like, oh, hundreds, if not thousands. He got to the point, it got so bad for him that he had a hard time talking. Like he couldn't carry on a conversation because the words wouldn't come to him.
And then everybody was all shocked and surprised when they found out there were a bunch of alcoholics and drug addicts.
Yeah.
Have you watched that shit? You got to be high on something to do it.
Right. Anyway, I didn't even freaking out of his mind. What's up, Scott?
How you doing, Pete?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Yeah, man.
Lots of goings on. I see that Slob Olympics has officially announced Panama City.
It is. Have you ever been there before? I bet you have.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew it.
have not been there in a while. But,
Yeah.
I lived in Fort Walton, and of course, Panama City was about 50, 60 miles away, and I think it's a great venue to go to. So I think it's going to be like Isle of Palms incarnate a little bit. I mean, it's more touristy, of course, in Panama City. So there's going to be a lot more entertainment venues and all that, restaurants, et cetera, et cetera.
And it's the beginning of March too, so you're starting to get the spring break crowd.
Yeah, I think if we do it on March 1st, I think that's like maybe a week or two before the big time spring breakers will be coming in there. But the way that somebody described it to me was, imagine Myrtle Beach with a nicer beach. That's Panama City.
That's basically it. I mean, the water is pristine, turquoise and white sandy beaches. That whole panhandle of Florida is beautiful beaches, no doubt.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Even Destin has one. Oh, man.
Which is fine with me because I think that Myrtle Beach is a great location for a slob type event. I mean, because it's fucking Myrtle Beach. But the problem is I'm not a big fan of Myrtle Beach. I don't know about you, Scott.
I don't like Myrtle Beach either. It's too much of a tourist trap to me.
Yeah, and it's also way further north than Panama City. So if you do it the first week of March, then weather becomes a possible issue there.
I never found out why the St. Pete area got ruled out, but it's definitely less touristy
what the hell?
than Panama City.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I heard complications, so I mean, I assume that somebody's got warrants in the area, but
warrants, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the phrase I heard was legal complications about going. So
I don't know about any legal complications. I heard undisclosed family matters, which is obviously a joke about a certain person who lives in that area.
I even submitted Pensacola too, but that got shot down by our buddy Fish and Football who lives in Pensacola. He said it would be. He said, do not come here. It'd be terrible. You won't like it. Well, that's his.
Well, he lives there, so I believe him.
The beach is nice in Pensacola. You have to take a toll road just to get to the beach, so you have to pay just to get over there.
Okay, what's wrong with? I don't know what's wrong with that. See, he's not. This is what I don't get. And yes, I know he lives there, but why he has to bitch about it if he lives there?
I don't know. I mean,
I would love for it to be in Memphis, so I don't have to travel. I'd feel really bad if somebody got shot. There's a high likelihood of that happening.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Welcome to Memphis. Boom.
And that's kind of the point, is that he lives there, and it would be super convenient for it to be in his town, and he's still telling us not to do it there. Then there's a reason.
Okay, he didn't tell us the reason.
That'd be like me.
Pensacola's a bit boring.
Right.
My personal feeling is.
That's what he said. He's like, there's nothing to do here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a military town.
It is a military town. It's an Air Force town.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Nate, in Pensacola, they don't have a Hooters and a water park right next to the Days Inn.
No, they don't. And, in Panama City, you have the choice, too. I know that you guys might have already picked the Days Inn, but I listened to BA and Tiger Cat yesterday, and they were talking about some place called the Pineapple Hotel.
Oh, shit.
And there was one big red room in there, and I put in the chat. There's the horror room right there.
A jacuzzi.
That's just the craziest thing that you've ever said, Casey.
They got bubbly jets.
Yeah, got bubbly jets and the bed bug swing too.
Oh,
Casey says, why do Charlestonians not like Myrtle Beach? He feels like it's a way better beach vacation spot. No, it's sir.
No, it's
Myrtle Beach is a complete and total dump.
It's all you can eat seafood restaurants, lined up.
24-hour pancake houses, strip clubs, and shitty ass overpriced resorts.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Now look,
Jesus, it sounds like Miami.
Here's the one thing that Myrtle Beach does have. If you're a big time golfer, I mean, there's like 120 golf courses in Myrtle Beach. There's more golf courses per capita in Myrtle Beach than there is anywhere on the face of the earth.
And that's a great destination to go in the fall. In the fall, if you were a golfer, that would be a great, destination to head to. But
only old men and the mentally challenged play golf.
Hey,
now
thank you. That's I'm of that crowd.
Here's
I'm
what
old and mentally challenged.
Here's what Myrtle Beach is good for, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. It's good for golf vacations if you're in golf and you want to play a bunch of different courses for a low price. That's one good reason. It's also a good reason to go party and get into debauchery if with a group of friends, like either a men only getaway weekend, or even if you're a woman, maybe a woman's only getaway weekend where you just go in. I mean, there's a million strip clubs up there. There's all kinds of trouble you can get into. I'm sure the meth is cheap.
The meth is cheap.
I'm sure the meth is cheap. Whatever else you get into. That's the other reason. And then
inflation hits them too.
And the third reason is if you have young children, because there's a lot to do for young kids up there, and it's not super expensive. But for any other reason, like if just you and your wife, or maybe you yourself was looking to go have a relaxing beach vacation, Myrtle Beach is not even in the top 100 places to go in the country for that.
I totally agree. It's just, to me, again, it feels like a big tourist trap up there, and it's redneckville there too. To me,
yeah.
I mean, it's the lowest common denominator of people up there.
And I know Traveling Fools doesn't agree with me, but that's a very apt description, in my opinion, for Miami.
Yeah.
The beaches are not that. South Beach is a shithole. And I mean, it really is.
Yeah, but Miami is pricey as hell everywhere you go.
Well, that's why I said it's overpriced. There's a lot of shitty resorts. There's a lot of debauchery to be had because it's Miami.
Well, doesn't Miami have the theme of I don't give an in that whole city?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, we don't. We don't give an F.
There's less rednecks in Miami than there is in Myrtle Beach.
No, more criminals, but yeah, less rednecks, more criminals.
More gangs.
Well, there may be just as many criminals, just less rednecks.
Oh yeah, there's no rednecks in Miami that I know of, anyway.
They're all in North Florida. They're all around Jacksonville and shit.
North Florida or the Panhandle, because that's called L.A. or Lower Alabama.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Yeah.
But yeah, speaking golfing, not golfing, but I know Pete saw me the last, or the year before last year's Summer Olympics, when we were doing putt-putt golf.
Yeah, putt-putt. Yeah.
You skipped half the course, Nate?
Yeah.
Well, we'll try to get to you guys.
Yeah, you had to hit it through the windmill in the clown's mouth. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I was raging at putt-putt, and I couldn't freaking. I had like six or seven putts, and I didn't go in, or the ball didn't go in. I was so mad that I had to pull a Happy Gilmore.
Now, I don't know if you were listening to the morning show, Pete. I may try and make this Cherokee trip because my wife is taking off this weekend and leaving the kids with me and headed to Gulf Shores. So I may try and do the same thing next month.
But you've looked at the dates on this, right?
Yeah.
It's during the week.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd have to obviously.
I don't think we're taking a vacation this year. I don't think she's going to have the time.
Right. So here's the reason we're going through Monday through Thursday is because we get the rooms for free Monday through Thursday.
Ah, shit.
Once you get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the same room that we're getting for free Monday through Thursday is $430 a night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And believe me, I'm nothing against Harrah's. I've stayed there twice now. There's not a room in that fucking place worth $400 a night. It's just not.
No, there's not.
There's one or two at Horseshoe that I might consider it, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have like a penthouse suite that's worth $400 a night, but just a regular run-of-the-mill 2-queen bedroom or whatever, 1 or 2 queen beds room is not worth $400. It's not.
Damn it, works now.
Lou said something, and he was right about this. I heard him talk about this. I forget on one of his shows was about being up at Cherokee, that there's nothing to do up there except gamble.
Yeah, we covered that earlier. We covered that earlier.
And the employment rate, they're having a hard time hiring employees at Cherokee. And just my experience, when I went up there like between Christmas and New Year's 2016 to 2017. And the rude behavior of the employees up there really just drove me away.
Yeah, I had the opposite experience.
I don't know. Maybe I just caught them on a bad week. Maybe it was because it was between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah,
people there.
I was actually surprised because every time I've been to Las Vegas, a lot of the people that work at those casinos are kind of dicks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I had the complete opposite experience at Cherokee. Everyone there couldn't be more attentive or nicer. I don't know.
Well, maybe they've changed employees.
Maybe
I had this big, large, rotund Jabba the Hutt like card dealer for playing Texas Hold'em poker, and he was just he was an asshole. And then I remember walking into that shopping center they have. I walked into one of their little tourist shops, with T-shirts and jewelry and all that, looking for something for my wife, and the lady asked me, "Can I help you?" And I said, "No, ma'am, not at the moment." And she looked at me like she could have killed me. Well, if you ain't gonna buy anything, then get the hell out, more or less. And I was like, okay. So after I was going to stay there for a couple of days, I left that night.
Wow,
that's a good thing.
Now I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been to Cherokee, so I don't know how it is. I'm already rating it below Tunica for a couple of simple reasons. Number one, Tunica's like a half hour south of Memphis, so I can be there in less than 2 hours. But number one, you don't have to go outside to smoke.
Yeah, I don't like that either. There's two things. I'm a smoker, so I think most, if not all, of the casinos in Las Vegas, you can still smoke inside. It's definitely convenient now. But if you're not a smoker, it's kind of a good thing. I mean, even as a smoker, I don't like sitting in a smoke-filled room.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What they've done at Tunica is the second floor. What do you call it? The casino floor. The second floor of it, because it's got 2 stories in it. The second floor of it is entirely non-smoking.
Well, that seems backwards because the smoke travels upwards.
I agree, but whatever. It's not my world. I just live in it.
No.
But number 2, the reason I like Tunica is because I sit down at the blackjack table or whatever I'm doing, and I'll tip the waitress like $10 when she brings me my first drink, and an hour and a half later, I'm 9 sheets to the
So that's not the smoking thing so much. You get used to that if you're a smoker, that you have to go outside to smoke at Harrah's or Cherokee. The thing that I didn't like is that every other casino I've ever been to, as long as you're sitting at a table or a slot machine and gambling money, they'll bring you free drinks.
Yeah.
They don't, not at Cherokee. You got to pay for the drinks, and then you got to tip unless you're an asshole, you got to tip the waitress on top of that. So, I don't know. I get why. Actually, I don't get why they do that. I guess I feel like they would probably make more money.
Raping and pillaging is what they're doing.
But here's the thing: they would make more money, in my opinion, giving away. There's a reason casinos give away free drinks. It's to get you drunk, and so that you get loose with your money.
That's right.
And so now we're planning this trip to Cherokee next month, and we're already making plans. We're going to bring our own this, we're going to bring our own that. We're not paying for drinks there, or at least not maybe like 1 or 2, maybe. But
I can imagine the markup in that place.
They're not that bad, actually. I think a beer is like $7 and a liquor drink's like $10, but still.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I don't know if you heard the news. It just broke. Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Passed away?
I think it has to do with that lawsuit that Fox just paid $786 million.
Yeah.
But they don't really give a reason why. But they said his last show was this Friday. But I'm thinking he was a huge commodity for Fox News.
Well, he had the highest rated cable show on TV.
Yeah.
I know.
He did. I've never understood it because I'm not a big Tucker Carlson fan.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a great, because he's always lived in Washington, D.C. He's a great Washington, D.C. insider, per se.
Well, the thing is about him is he's always been, well, at least as long as he's worked for Fox News, he's been labeled as some far right-wing commentator. But anybody who's ever followed Tucker Carlson's career, I mean, he worked at MSNBC, at CNN. He was sort of like a middle-of-the-road libertarian type of guy.
Oh yeah, he didn't
No,
like Trump.
he's definitely a big government guy.
But
he secretly didn't ever reveal this until now, but he didn't like Trump. Although he just interviewed him last week, he's never liked Trump.
not as a politician, right?
Yeah,
Well, I don't think many people like him. I don't think he's a nice guy.
But
Trump or Carlson.
Well, either one, to be perfectly blunt. But
he was actually used to be. I don't know if he's still syndicated here or not. But Scott, you remember Bubba the Love Sponge from Florida, right? He was syndicated in Charleston for a while. He might still be.
He still is actually.
Okay.
He's still got his. He's the only station that carries him is in Charleston.
Oh, so that's his only syndication. Yeah, that's funny. But anyway, so there used to be a segment once a week, I believe it was like every Friday morning or something, that Tucker Carlson would come on, and he was funny on there.
Oh, yeah. Tucker's very funny.
Now this is way, I'm talking about 15, 20 years ago. This was before he was at Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
see, I mean, but by comparison, he's really not, though, because Greg Gutfeld's a whole lot funnier than Tucker Carlson.
Well, yeah, you're right about that, Slim. But Tucker used to be kind of the comic relief that was for a lot of the shows. I mean, he was a young guy. He was a young buck, and of course, he's grown and become more astute and all that. But I don't know. It's just surprised. But I know it has to do with money. I know it has to do with that lawsuit. By all means, it'll all come out.
Probably.
You talking about the voting machine company? They had to pay money.
Yeah, Dominion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dominion. Yeah. So we'll see.
I don't know.
Gentlemen,
I guess
I gotta run somewhere, but I just wanted to say hi, and y'all take care.
All right, see you later, Scott.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, I guess some conspiracy theorists, get fired for spreading conspiracy theories, and other ones don't. I mean, Rachel Maddow still got a job, doesn't she? She spreads conspiracy theories 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So.
I still think peak Rachel Maddow, which, but peak Rachel Maddow was like the hour-and-a-half special she had when somehow they got a hold of one of Trump's tax returns, and they found out afterwards that it's illegal to get a hold of somebody's tax returns and put that shit out on the news.
Oh man, sir, she was doing all kinds. She said all kinds of crazy shit, and she's sort of in the same boat as Tucker Carlson. I don't know why anybody takes anything. Look, I can't watch cable news. I just can't do it.
I don't either.
I can't do it.
That's why I was talking. I think it was TK's show. Me and Lou got in the conversation about it. Like, I'll watch Greg Gutfeld because he'll inject some comedy in it, and that makes it a whole lot more watchable. But the same thing goes with like Bill Maher. I think Bill Maher is funny as hell.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the funny people. I don't turn that shit on and take it seriously.
Yeah, right. The people that can, throw a couple of jokes in there with it. Yeah, okay. You make it at least bearable.
All right, see you, Pete. Have a good day.
All right, see you later, Nate.
Bye, Nate.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say. I don't know anything about it. So somebody's saying he didn't get fired. He quit. Whatever.
I'm not
Here's what I do know.
More Hannity, to be honest.
Here's what I do know. Either he'll get hired by another news organization, or he'll do like every other person and just start his own podcast. And probably, look, no matter what you think about Tucker Carlson, if Tucker Carlson came out today and said, "Hey, I just started the new Tucker Carlson Show podcast 5 days a week from this time to this time," he would immediately have millions of subscribers.
Oh yes.
And then with millions of subscribers comes advertisers and whatnot. He'll be fine. Believe me. Plus the amount of money he's made at Fox is ridiculous. How much money was he making there? A ridiculous amount of money.
I feel as bad for Tucker Carlson as I do any coach that gets fired.
Yeah. So
Laughing all the way to the bank. I ain't worried about it.
that's the thing about, if you're that big of a name and you start a podcast, you don't really have anybody to answer to. You can't get fired. Now you can get sued civilly, technically, but you're not getting fired. I mean, because you're your own entity.
That's true, but I mean, look at what happened with Joe Rogan after he signed that deal with Spotify. Spotify tried their damnedest to start changing his content around.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. In his case, yes. Okay, few people. I think you have like Rogan and Dave Chappelle and maybe a couple of others that I can't think of off the top of my head that are just big enough that we were talking about this the other day that are basically uncancelable.
Yeah, Rogan still does his show the same way he always did, and there's still a bunch of people out there getting their little feelings hurt about everything he says. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. Yeah. Whoever is running the show at Spotify is smart, because there's a little bit of public pressure, and a lot of these companies these days, if there's any sort of like pressure from people on social media about, cancel this guy, cancel that, they freak out, and advertisers start freaking out. Whoever's at Spotify was just like, he's getting 10 times the downloads of any other show on the planet, and so to advertisers, that's all that matters.
Well, and a lot of their flack was coming from actually Spotify employees. They were the ones getting their feathers ruffled.
Three people. Yeah, 3 people. I don't know how many Spotify employees there are, probably thousands. Yeah, three little babies got their feelings hurt, and then they say, yeah, well, if you don't like it, you can leave, which they did. And then that's the end of that.
With most of this, though, it's a very loud, small, almost microscopic minority of people, but for some reason, folks left and right are just bending the knee to them. I've never understood it.
Well,
but feelings and shit.
Yeah, tough to cancel folks who don't care. That's 100% right.
Yeah.
It's tough to cancel folks who don't care, and their audience doesn't care either.
Yeah, why do y'all think I'm still around here?
Yeah.
I've said plenty of shit that probably could have been thrown off the internet for.
Yeah, and people have said plenty of shit on my shows that, they don't like, or that people that are listening don't like, and I don't care if they don't like it. This is my show. I'm unfireable here too. Now, I guess I could be deplatformed by YouTube if I said something, but there's nobody pulling me into an office going, Pete, you shouldn't have just let this person come on and say that. This Slim Shady guy's bad for business. Well,
let's be honest. I'm sure Mrs. Peete has probably said that a time or two.
Nah, she knows better. She knows she could say whatever she wants. I'm still going to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, right.
So.
It's not like she can cancel you anyway.
No. No. I'm nobody on YouTube. I mean, I'm not even on their radar, so that doesn't really matter. But
that's what I've told Celine. So when he goes on about YouTube shadow banning the things I say and shit like that, I'm like, bro, you're not even on YouTube.
Shadow banning. Yeah.
I mean, do they intentionally push stuff down the list when you go searching for things? Yeah, of course they do. But I think that's something totally different, but it's what a lot of people will call it.
Yeah, more algorithm than shadow banning.
Yeah, but the point, I mean, it for anybody to suggest that the algorithm isn't, they haven't intentionally made the algorithm left-leaning, it just isn't paying attention. I mean, not even get into one they believe, but the Young Turks are a bunch of idiots. But you search some things, and they're going to be the first things that pop up, and they're literally a bunch of brain-dead morons.
Yeah. Well.
At least when I search Pigskin Pete, you come up and not, I don't know, somebody, I don't know who else would come up in that search.
I hope nobody. I hope I'm the only one.
Well, it seems original enough that you should be.
It does seem that way, yeah. Yeah, no self-respecting grown man would call themselves pigskin anything. So I'm the only one. I've cornered that market. Oh, anyway, I do have to go, guys. It's 1:15.
It was fun.
It was fun, yeah. A lot of talk today. We read the news. There was a bunch of different interesting stories on there. We talked a lot about the Slob softball, Panama City Beach, Cherokee, all the fun events that are coming up.
And maybe even more.
And then a little bit about Tucker Carlson and Fox News and Rachel Maddow and all the things that really get people in their feels, you know, really mad.
Hey, after this video, now this is serious. After this video ends, go back in the comments section and give us some kind of comment on so we can gauge people's opinions on a slob camping trip.
Well, first of all, I'm up for it, depending on where it was, what time of year it was.
To me, spring is a good idea. Not too hot, not too cold. But I think it would be worth it, hell, just to see Lou out in the damn woods.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. He's not going to go camping. He'll just be like, no, I ain't got no interest in it.
We could peer pressure him into it.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. I can be the most annoying son of a bitch you've ever seen, and to get me to leave you alone, you'll agree to anything.
Man, 30 slobs out there camping. That's one hell of a thought there. Well, I'm glad you brought it up. So that'll open up the discussion. Now we have we can talk about it and get some different views on it.
Yeah, just to see if there's, enough people interested to even keep the idea going, or, if I got to go back to the toilet and come up with another idea.
I can't wait to hear Raj's opinion on it. He'll be like, hell, we got a place we can camp right about 15 minutes from here from my house. I got 4 tents, a couple of portable grills. Jay Shipes, hell, he's got a couple of portable grills too,
So do I.
See?
Hell, I've actually got a 2-room tent.
I got a fucking Yeti cooler the size of a pickup truck.
I ain't got no Yeti cooler. I ain't got Yeti money. Those people are sure proud of their coolers.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, I got to go, Slim. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
All right. There you got it. There you have it. Successful midday show today. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you very soon. Have a great Monday.